Hey, In2Picklers, coming to you from Tampa today. Want to talk about the lob and lob coverage. So want to focus on today is what's the team that's being lobbed. So two players are up at the net and they get lobbed. How are they supposed to move to cover that lob? The ideal motion is that whoever's getting lobbed basically switches with their partner. The partner who's not getting lobbed goes back in a diagonal to cover it, so it's like an X is formed there. So the person who's not being lobbed comes back, gets the ball, the other player cuts across and switches with them. So we're going to show that. My wife Jill and our friend Tommy are going to help illustrate that today, so let's get into it.
Let's take a look at a slide to set up the lobbing. So this is the no volley zone lob, so it's a lob from the kitchen. So the lob generates from the kitchen here. Here you can see that the female player is lobbing the male player directly across from her. So one way is for the male player to go directly back. That is not optimal, and I'll show you why in a little bit. The better motion here is for the other female player to cross with the male player and go get the lob, and then they're both back to defend, then they can work their way back up. In this first sequence, Jill is dinking with Tommy and I like you would in a normal match here. Now you can see Jill moves in. She's getting ready to execute a lob over Tommy. I'm going to cross behind Tommy here to execute a third shot when I get back here. You can see that I have a reasonably decent position here. I'm close to the baseline, so I can execute a third shot. Now we're back in the point, and we can work our way back up into the kitchen. Let's look at another sequence where Jill is dinking with Tommy and I. Again, we're dinking just like you would in a regular point here. Jill sets up here to execute her lob over Tommy again. I'm going to move back. This time you're going to see that I do not have the same position I had on the last shot. I'm pushed back behind the line. So what I'm going to do here is simply lob it up. Kind of run into the fence there a little bit. Tommy moves back with me, which is correct. Now we're both back at the baseline, can defend the hard shot and try and work our way back up into the kitchen. This next one I'm dinking with Tommy and Jill this time. I'm going to execute a lob over Tommy that Jill's going to go cover. Similar to the last one, I want to show you that you can go back. As long as both players go back, you can then defend against a hard shot, even if you can't really get a good shot off on the lob here, like Jill can't here. I want to hit a nice deep ball. But because Tommy and Jill are both back, they can defend it and they can work their way back up to the kitchen. Let's look at a lob here in match play. You're going to see me move up here in a second. Tyson, who is hitting the ball right now, is going to lob the ball over Scott. Scott and I are both going to go back to retrieve this ball. What I want you to look at here is I pause it so you can see the ball in the air over Scott here. What I want you to notice is Scott's heading straight back. The ball's going almost directly over him. So he's going to have to basically turn all the way around to hit this ball. If you look at my body position relative to this ball, I'm coming in at an angle, so I can basically hit the ball, easier for me to adjust to hit the ball than it is for Scott to have to turn all the way around and then hit the ball. You'll see that from this position, I opt to hit a lob off of this lob from Tyson. I end up pushing Tyson off the line here. He hits an overhead, but he's off the line, so he can't really punish it too hard. We end up missing the next shot, but the point of this is that we gave ourselves the best opportunity to defend against the lob and to get ourselves back into the point.
Lob is too good. I thought lob is so good.